Hello, everyone. Welcome back to, welcome back to Leviticus, but this is the recap. So this is a new sort of thing on that. Welcome back to the channel, at least. Welcome back. I hope everyone enjoyed Leviticus. If you haven't watched it, I'm sorry, but this recap is not doing it justice at all. I can't get into one. There's specific laws in Leviticus where if I get into one, I don't want to feel like I'm leaving one other one out, and I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring a certain point at all. So I don't go over any of the laws in any of this about, the animal sacrifices and what they do, what they're for this one, for this one, for this one. I sadly do not go over any of those because I would simply have to go over all of them to make it all fair. But I do want to say that this is going to be probably my shortest recap, because there's just most of it is about a certain thing. It's all mostly about, I did this law, and that's okay. I enjoyed it. I hope everyone else did who followed along with me. But I just feel like it would be like an hour-long video if I go over those, and this is the recap, so it's meant to be shorter. So this is going to be a super short one, which is why I'm probably rambling so much right now, to make it a little longer. I don't know. So here we go. Leviticus, the recap. Let's go. So Leviticus starts off right after the Israelites escape Egypt. Well, not right after, but a little bit after. And they're figuring out, how to live as God's people, how to build a covenant with him, and, how to please him. So we start at, there's tons of sacrifices, and that's just, it helps them repair their relationship with God. Because, we're imperfect people, so we have to make atonement. And we had to do that. Well, they had to do that, not we. I wasn't there, obviously. But, at the time, the Israelites had to make lots of sacrifices for a lot of different things, stealing, certain things like that. Just a bunch of sins. If you committed one, you had to make an atonement. And there's different ones you could do with, there was goats, turtle doves, and they had to be clean. There was unclean animals, clean animals, and unclean would be, ones that aren't of the herd. It's hard for me to remember right now, but not their animals in the wild, such as that. Clean animals would be ones pure, no spots, nothing like that. Just pure little animals, not little, animals. And they would have to sacrifice them to repair their relationship with God. And that's as much as I'm going to go over, because, there was turtle doves. There's another bird. I can only remember the two turtle doves. I don't know why. Bulls, sheep, animals like that. Priests would do that at the tabernacle, where the priests would be, and they would have to take care of lots of things. They had tons of what you would say rules, I suppose, guidance, things that they had to do, work. They had a lot of work to do, and they had to do it specific. God gave them instructions. It was like, hey, you do it this way. Make sure you do it this way, or else there will be consequences. Now, the reason I say that is because two of Aaron's sons, which were priests, they messed up a little bit. I can't remember if it was during a ceremony, or if it was during a sacrifice of sorts. But they messed up, and they were burnt. I think they tried to burn something else at an incense altar in the tabernacle, and they burnt. They went engulfed in flames. And but the priests were meant to be middle people between God and the people. They were like, hey, you got to do this. They were kind of just, hey, they were like the managers, so to say. And would manager be like the second high? I don't know. Kind of, I guess managers in a way. There's the boss, manager, and then kind of employees. I mean, I had to put it in a today sense in a way. They had made a Day of Atonement, and that happened once a year. And essentially what that would do is the high priests would make atonement for everyone by doing a sacrifice of sorts. I can't remember exactly what they had to do. I tried to make this quick. I'm sorry. I can't remember right now. It all kind of jumbled in. I'm kind of thinking of a lot. I gotta read it again to get the full message. It's just a little confusing. This book essentially, because there's not a lot of stuff that happens. It's more of just like a rule book of sense, which is why a lot of people don't enjoy this book, but I do. I had a good time reading it. But yeah, that's the Day of Atonement. It happens once a year, and makes atonement for everyone's sins. It's a huge community thing. And the animal sacrifice is to cleanse your sins, and it's how people grow closer to God, and they become better people. They get just get closer to God, and they become holy, clean. There's a lot to do with different types of laws. There's stealing. A lot of the 10 Commandments is in there. If you've done the last recap, then you would know. But if you don't, I could go over it quick. There's a lot of sexual immorality laws. I hope YouTube is okay with me saying that. I don't know. There's just so many. I mean, it's a big portion of the book dedicated to it. I mean, if you want, you could go back and relook. If anything, you could go back and read it yourself, and I would recommend that. I would recommend that because that'd be perfecto. And you get to learn. You get to learn a little more. It's essentially this whole thing, and the rule book, I guess, sort of way to think about it is how they build a covenant with God and how God builds a covenant with them, because we are imperfect people and we will never get close to perfect, but we can do this to grow closer to God, which brings us holiness and makes us right with him, in a sense. Gets us closer to him, makes us right in a way. And that's what Leviticus is all about. It answers the question, how do imperfect people live with the perfect God? And that it kind of, in a sense, answers it. We still have, more books to get through that answer that. But it kind of lays it out and lays out some laws that we need, it just essentially, I think a lot of takeaway from it that you can get is, you can be fair in business, take care of the poor, don't take advantage of others, which is good, and loving your neighbor. As you know, that's a big reference right there. I mean, a lot of people say that, love your neighbor. There's so much to go over with this. I mean, you could pull a page and just get stuck in it. And it explains everything down to the T. I enjoyed Leviticus very much, and I hope you all did as well. Like I said, this is very short. I mean, it's hard to explain because I don't want to go into too much detail on each one, like I said. But it's essentially just about being a better person, because during that time, a lot of people, we were just building up, and they came from Egypt, which was, they were slaves, so they weren't treated as well. So they just I'm not going to use that example, but they were slaves, and they weren't treated correctly. They probably didn't know how to treat certain people, and they had to continue to become better people, to treat other people correctly, and to stay holy with God as much as they could, and make atonement for that. There's a lot of it is animal sacrifice, and there's nothing else much more to it. I mean, we get into verses and stuff, but that's just gonna keep you guys here a lot longer. Like I said, I'm sorry. This is probably one of my shortest ever videos to ever date. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for coming. I can't wait to get into... One second. I can't wait to finally get into Numbers. And we'll see what Numbers got in store for us. I don't hear a lot about Numbers. So I'll see you guys next week, and we'll start it off nice and neatly. We got 36 chapters to go through. I hope everyone's enjoying these videos. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you like this video, which it's a small video, so I understand if you don't like it, but I hope you all enjoy. Leave a like if you want. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you feel free. I promise you, the reading is way better than the recap this time around. Probably is most of the time, but you can go back and watch that, and be great. I hope everyone has a good week. I hope everyone I hope everyone has a blessed week, and yeah, I'll see y'all in Numbers. Laters, Gator.